using my 24 years experience, I know I can help you, especially if you're a beginner. So I've got the experience, but not only that, I've been obsessed with money and investing over the last 6 years, since 2019. I've read hundreds of books, watched hundreds of YouTube videos, if not thousands, listened to podcasts, listened to audibles, blah, blah. And I've found a way to be neutral and calm around money and investing. Now, this wasn't always the case. I was far too emotional before 2019, before I made the decision to become financially educated, financially literate. I was anxious, stressed, a constant loop around money and investing, negativity, and it wasn't good. So my aim with this YouTube channel and my school community is to help other investors with my experience. Now, today, I've made some bullet points on my girly laptop, my pink laptop. Now, the background to this being a pink laptop is a couple of years ago when I did buy it, I wasn't looking at the colour, I was looking at the fact that it was on sale. It was reduced from 1,400 to 1,000. If I'd have checked the colour, I would have got black or grey. But anyway, that's why I've got a girly laptop. So I've got some bullet points, and I'm going to try and convince you to join my community so I can help you if you need it, if you need help and support with your investing, with your money mindset. If you need it, I'm going to help you today. So pretty much everything I do online with my YouTube, with my school communities, is document my journey towards financial freedom. And I want to help other people get financial freedom. It's massively important. Now, I made a goal back in 2018 to become financially free within 10 years. So simple maths, I've got 3 years left. Now, if crypto sorts itself out, if the macro global economics sort itself out, I might have a chance. If it doesn't, then I might have to reassess my goals. But hopefully I can become financially free within 3 years. And I'll hit my main goal of getting financial freedom within 10 years. And once I get there, I'm going to help as many people as possible with this YouTube channel, with my school communities. So that's the whole reason for my channel for this video. Now, because of my previous relationship with money, all the mistakes I've made as an investor, I want to help as many people as possible because I've got that experience of anxiety, stress around money and investing. It's not nice at all. So I want to help as many people as possible become neutral and calm around money and investing. So I've always had a difficult relationship with money. I've always been anxious around money and investing. And one of the reasons why was because I wasn't taught about money, and not a lot of people are. You're not taught it at school, you're not taught about it at all. And this pisses me off, to be honest. And when I think about it, I started investing as an 18-year-old. I invested £500 each month into a stocks and shares ISA, and I'd done it for 6 months. I stopped because I didn't have the financial literacy, zero education, and I spent the money, whatever I'd saved, and went to a beef with the lads. I enjoyed myself, but if I'd have had the education, I'd have continued investing for the last 22, 23 years. Now, if I'd have invested £500 into a stocks and shares ISA and got on average 10%, I'd have been looking at over £500,000 when you stick it into a compound interest calculator. But again, I didn't have the financial literacy. I didn't understand anything about money. Didn't understand anything about compound interest. Also around that time, I bought my first property as a 19-year-old. I was going to be a property millionaire. I was determined to be a property millionaire. It didn't pan out. I did have a few properties in my early 20s, but the financial crisis really fucked me. I was 50,000, 60,000 in equity before 2007, 2008, but afterwards I was 50,000, and it didn't do me emotion. I couldn't handle it basically. I was negative about money, negative about investing. So after 2008, between 2008 and 2018, I had a bad relationship with money and investing. I didn't want my properties. I had 4 properties. I had them, but I didn't really want them. So I was negative. And between 2008 and 2018, I didn't invest into anything. Well, I did invest into stocks and shares in 2010, 2011, but I didn't do any research. So there was no skill involved. I didn't read one book, no research. I think I read the back of the Sun newspaper for 30 minutes, bought JJB and a few oil and gas shares. Long story short, between 2010 and 2011, I invested our life savings into single shares and lost it all. And 2011, when I finally lost it all, that was a time when me and my wife were moving into our second home and we were having our second daughter. So I wasn't flavour of the month. I made shitloads of mistakes between 2008 and 2018. I lost our life savings in the stock market. I stuck money in premium bonds for a couple of years and got 0.5% interest. Now, one of the things that I did do well, I invested in myself. And this was 2010. I went back to college because I wasn't happy with my work situation. 2 years later, so 2012, my income doubled. So instead of buying a few rental properties, investing in stocks and shares, what I would do if I could go back, I bought the bigger house. I bought the better car, went on more holidays, spent more money. So my income went up, but our expenses went up. Lifestyle creep kicked in. Please don't let this be you. This isn't the way to go at all. I made mistake after mistake. Now, if you want to learn all of my mistakes between 2008 and 2018, you can join my free school community. Now, I'm going to leave a link below. There's links on my main page, my main YouTube page, to join my free community. So I'm just going to have a little look at my community now. Just to show you what courses there are available on my school community. So school's a really good platform. You get around other like-minded people, in my case, like-minded investors. So this is my school community. If you can see. Shit, internet signal's terrible. So my free school community is all about investing in the stock market with index funds. It gets you to a point where you're a beginner, you've never invested in stocks and shares, you might have savings or cash, which I wouldn't go with at all based on my experience. I get you a point in my courses where you can invest with confidence and securely, with safety, in the stock market with low cost index funds. I think this is a perfect starting point for beginners. So within this community, there's currently 2 free courses. So you're getting courses for free, but you're getting around other like-minded investors. And if you do join the school community, you can do the courses and then ask any questions within the group. There's currently about 180 members, so getting around other members, other investors, and you can ask me any questions. Let me go back to my bullet points. So, as you can see, I'm not very good in front of the camera when it's live. I do all of my YouTube videos, if I'm being honest, and with a teleprompter, but I'm doing this to get better at speaking off the cuff. So between 2008 and 2018, made shitloads of mistakes and got to a point in 2018 where I'd had enough of making mistakes. I'd had enough of being negative with money, whinging to my wife all the time about our money problems, about where does our money go. It was causing me issues. I was negative as fuck, if I'm being honest. I was working. Now, as I said, I doubled my income in 2012, and that was because I got into commissioning. I went back to college, got a HNC in electrical engineering, and then kept going and finally got a degree. I got a H&D in electrical engineering, and I got a top-up degree in engineering management. Now, I was offshore between 2012 and 2016 on good money, but as I said, lifestyle creep kicked in. So I did build up some savings, but I wasn't buying any assets. I didn't buy any properties during this period. And I left the offshore game in 2016 because I'm shit scared of helicopters. So when I left the offshore, I left my job offshore, my income practically halved, but our spending remained the same. In fact, in 2016, our income kicked in. Our income got worse. Our expenses got worse. We went on 4 holidays. We spent £10,000 on a front room that we don't even use anymore. Log burner, new sofa, blah, blah, blah. We spent far too much money. And I started really worrying about money 2016, 2017, going into 2018. 2018, I was working up and down the UK. We live in Middlesbrough. I was working in Gatwick. I was driving down every week. It was taking me 6 hours, 7 hours. I wasn't happy at all. And I finally got to a point where I was sick of staying in shitty B&Bs, and I decided to learn about money and investing. Now, at this point, I got into Tony Robbins videos, Les Brown videos, Jim Rohn, and I got into personal development. So I started learning about money, and I got into personal development. And towards the end of 2018, I set myself some goals, the first goals I'd ever set. And one of them goals my main goal was to be financially free. That's what, as I said at the start of me going live, that's what this channel is all about. That's what my school community is all about. Documenting my journey toward financial freedom. So this is the end of 2018. Going into 2019, I read book after book. I was reading a book a week, sometimes 2 books a week. And I got to a point in mid-2019 where I felt confident to go back into the stock market with index funds. And because of my experience in property, I had years of experience in property, because of my previous experience with single shares, I knew I was an emotional investor. So I was reading about index investing, ETFs, and I liked the fact that it was set and forget, it was passive. So I started investing into a Vanguard fund in mid-2019, and I've been doing that for myself and my 2 daughters ever since, every single month. Now this is my favourite way to invest because it's stress-free. Literally every single year I've checked on the fund, maybe once or twice a year. That's what they say in the books, and that's how it's worked out for me. Crypto is a little bit different. So index investing is my favourite way to invest, but crypto is a huge opportunity for us investors. For me, it's our chance to get out of the rat race. If you're like me and you haven't really got any passion, you've got 0 passion for your current job, and you want to get out that rat race, you want freedom, I think crypto is a really good option. Or business. But what business? If you've got any ideas about what business, let me know in the comments. For me, for an investor, it's all about crypto investing. And I've been a crypto investor since 2017. So 2017, 2018 was my first cycle. As you can imagine, because of my negative decade between 2008 and 2018, it went tits up. My cousin told me about Bitcoin in 2015, Christmas Day 2015. And unfortunately, I didn't invest because I was clueless. I had 0 financial literacy, and Bitcoin at the time was $300, about $300. Anyway, I didn't invest. Fast forward 2017, and the same cousin finally convinced me to invest into crypto. He told me about 3 cryptos to invest into, 3 altcoins, and I put £2,000 in each. Now, these 3 cryptos collectively went from £6,000 up to £30,000 at the start of 2018. And while I was driving down to Gatwick, as I said, I was working in London at the time, every Sunday night, I'd get my Starbucks, I'd be driving down, and I'd be dreaming about buying more properties with all these crypto profits. And I thought I'd make an easy £100,000. I didn't know anything about crypto. I just had £100,000 in my mind. So I didn't cash out when it got to £30,000. And as you can imagine, I watched my 30,000 go back down to 6,000 and then to almost zero. So this pissed me off, and I buried my head in the sand, and I didn't even think about crypto again until 2020. Now, by this point, I would say I was financially literate. I'd been investing for years in property, and I'd made my mistakes in the stock market, and I'd started investing in index funds. I'd got back in the stock market. I was reading loads of books. And by 2020, I was writing a little weekly blog to help other investors with my experience, mainly talking about them painful mistakes I keep talking about. So I was writing my weekly blog, and the more I was getting into financial education, the more I was understanding things like high inflation, how bad it is, how it erodes our money every single year. The further it pushed me towards Bitcoin and crypto. So I was reading a lot about Bitcoin, and I think in August 2020, I had some tax money, and I nearly bought, I think I could have bought 2 Bitcoin at the time. I nearly bought 2 Bitcoin with that tax money. I should have, in hindsight, but I didn't, because I didn't want to risk losing my tax money. But anyway, so the start of going into 2021, I felt ready to buy into crypto. So January 2021, I bought 10 well-researched cryptos. I got a bit of help from the same cousin who told me about Bitcoin in 2015. Done my own research, picked out a few that done over the course of 12 months, 2 or 3x. Some didn't do very well, one done very well. I got into Solana at $3, I think it was, and by the peak, so November 2021, Solana got up to $260. So it was almost a 90x. I put 2,000 in. I didn't get that 90x return. I didn't time the top. But what I did do, I cashed out on the way up, which you're meant to do. Now, this is what you're meant to do in crypto. Now, I've learned after 8 years, you're meant to cash out incrementally on the way up, dollar cost average out of the market. But I still made a few mistakes in 2021, which, again, if you want to know all of my mistakes, you can join my free school community. I go into all my mistakes in detail. So I made a few mistakes in 2021, which was my second crypto cycle. And then at the start of 2022, I was a little bit emotional about crypto because my portfolio was around £120,000, I think it was, in November. I'd already taken my Solana profits out, while my portfolio was at around £120,000 in November, and I was trying to time the market top. Not try to time the market top, but I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and they were saying the top's going to be in December, maybe January. And as we know, it wasn't. So I watched my portfolio go from over 100,000 all the way down to 10,000. And this was going into the start of 2022, January, February, March, and I was very emotional. I would say slightly depressed. So I had a win with Solana and a few others, but overall, 2021, I'd fucked up my second cycle, basically. Now, what I didn't do, I didn't bury my head in the sand like I did back in 2018. I hit the books, I started educating myself. I was still writing my weekly blog, and I think I'd started my podcast, my shitty little podcast that I was doing every week. And I was just focusing on education, and by mid-2022, I was feeling good again. I was okay. And I'd started working overtime, working 6 or 7 days a week, and I started investing back into crypto. And I've done that every single month since mid-2022. And when you really learn about the 4-year crypto cycle, that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to zoom out and think long term. You're meant to dollar cost average from the bear market all the way to the bull market. And then you focus on your exit strategy. It's all about taking profits. We're now in 2025, the bull market, and the main thing for us investors, us crypto investors, is taking profits. Now, many crypto investors are panicking, especially beginners. There's a lot of uncertainty. in the markets because of Trump's tariffs, because of what's going on with macro, global economics. But this is normal when you look at historical. When you look at the crypto cycles historically, 2021, 2017, 30% pullbacks, 20% pullbacks are normal. It doesn't feel very nice, and you're going to hear loads of stories, loads of people on X saying this time it's different. But so far, it's playing out similar to previous cycles, especially 2017. When you follow people like Raoul Pal, literally everyone on YouTube like quotes Raoul Pal. When you follow people like Raoul Pal, he's talking about how Trump's going to try and weaken the dollar. And when the dollar's weaker, then China can start printing. Then we're going to get liquidity into the crypto markets. It's not as simple as that, obviously, but it is playing out as he's been talking about for months and months. So Trump knows every country needs a weaker dollar. The US need a weaker dollar for asset prices. China need a weaker dollar so they can stimulate their economy. Everyone needs a weaker dollar so they can turn their money printers on. Now, once China turns the money printers on, we're going to see more liquidity in the markets. And this is good for asset prices. So hopefully this is going to happen over the next few months. I've got everything crossed, because what many of us crypto investors were expecting was a much better Q1. So I've just about written off Q1. I think it's gone. I think because of all the uncertainty, what's going on in Europe, Ukraine, Trump's tariffs, whatever else Trump's doing, Doge, what Elon Musk's doing with the government over in the US, it's causing a lot of uncertainty. And markets don't like uncertainty. But once it sorts itself out, the global economy sorts itself out, macro sorts itself out, crypto will sort itself out, because the fundamentals are so bullish. Back in January 2024, the Bitcoin ETF got approved. Trump coming into office, he's crypto friendly. The new SEC, crypto friendly. All the people that Trump's got around him in the White House, crypto friendly. There's loads and loads of positive news coming out, but the market isn't reacting to any positive news, just the negative news. And when you think about it, again, when you listen to people like Raoul Pal, it's all about the macro. So you've got to zoom out a little bit, be a little bit patient, and hopefully alt season will kick in, hopefully in a few weeks. Long term, I'm very bullish on crypto because of the fundamentals, because of what I've been reading over the last few years, all the YouTube videos I've been watching, because of previous cycles. I'm just not feeling over the moon about crypto at this moment in time. But what I would say is, because of my 8 years experience in crypto, I've learned to become neutral and calm. I'm not overjoyed by crypto at the moment, but I am emotionally detached. And I've just got my long-term buy and hold head on, zoom out, and dollar cost average into projects, cryptos that I believe in. Cryptos like Solana, Sui, Tau, to get exposure to AI. I'm dollar cost averaging every single month. Anyway, if you need, as I said earlier, I've got a free school community. I've also got a crypto community. And if you need help and support with your crypto, you can type yes below in the comments and I'll send you the link for my crypto community. There you get 3 crypto courses. You get around other crypto investors. You get to ask any questions in the group. You get a one-to-one strategy call if you need it, to see what your plans are with crypto. Basically, I just want to get as many people as possible in both my communities, so I can get around with investors, so I can help other investors with my experience, get other people into my crypto community. Because when you're doing it by yourself, as I've learned over the years, it's quite lonely. It's not ideal. But if you're talking about money and investing, bouncing off other people, other investors, it's much better. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Hopefully the next time I go live, it's going to be a little bit better, because as I said, I'm not very good at off the cuff. But I am trying to help as many people as possible. I do want you to join my community if you're a beginner, if you need help and support as an investor. So type yes below and I'll send you the link for my free school community, or you can just watch all the videos on my YouTube channel. Anyway, thanks for watching.